Our area's most beautiful properties deserve the finest realtors. Meeks Realty Group. We focus on buying and selling residential and commercial properties throughout the tri-state area. Contact Meeks Realty Group online at meeks.us or call 304-440-1101.
The views and opinions expressed on this program do not necessarily reflect the views and opinions of 580 WCHS, its employees, or WVRC Media. From the studios of WVRC Media, the country, the United States of America, the state, West Virginia, the city, Charleston. This is the Dave Allen Show. And your host.
What we've got here is failure to communicate.
He's kind of a big deal.
I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass, and I'm all out of bubblegum.
Dave Allen.
Hey, folks, good Wednesday morning to you from the Parmar 58 Fruit Pharmacy. Text 304-935-5008. We do the show from the Parmar Store studio. If there's not a Parmar store near you now, there will be soon. Parmar, the official school of high school sports, is designated by the SSAC in the state of West Virginia, and also the official convenience store of Marshall University. If there's not a Parmar store near you now, there will be soon. And the show brought to you by the Thornhill Auto Group, including Thornhill Toyota. Come check out the new Camry, Corolla, RAV4, and more. At Thornhill, they're not just selling cars, they're creating unforgettable adventures. Click or come by Thornhill Toyota, WV.com, or on the Thornhill Motor Mile, US 119 in Chapmanville. We got lots to get to this morning. Senate Finance Chair Eric Tarr is going to join us in the second segment of the show. And following that, State Democratic Party Chair and Delegate Mike Pushkin. So here's what I'm thinking. All right, Senator Tarr. What are you laughing at?
I'm loving watching you.
Sandy Call's here. We're going to talk to her a little bit later on. So Senator Tarr is in the green room right now. Delegate and Chairman Pushkin is going to come in here. And I'm going to try my best to get them both on the air at the same time.
That would be wonderful.
I think if they can do that, they'll send me over to Israel. To try to get. That's the thing. If I can get them both, I don't know. I don't want to cause any problems, but we're going to try to get them on the air. Also, I got to get this in here. The 17th annual Trick or Beat over at Go-Mart Ballpark tomorrow night. Todd Judy Motors powering that as they always do. 2 sessions, one at 6, the other at 7:30. Just talking to Leah out front. There are approximately 8 tickets left. So if you're listening to me right now, you need to come to 1111 Virginia Street East in Charleston and get those tickets, because there are 8, literally 8. And it's a free event. Parents don't need tickets, but the kids do have to have tickets to get in. That's just, so we have enough candy to roll around, make sure everybody gets some. But by 10:30, 11 o'clock this morning, all those tickets are going to be gone.
Holy moly.
So we're expecting upwards of 3,000 kids at Go-Mart Ballpark tomorrow night for Trick or Beat, the 17th annual event. But again, as of airtime, about a couple minutes before 9 o'clock this morning, there were a grand total of 8 tickets left. So you better get those tickets. You better go see Lee out front in about the next 30 minutes or so, because if you wait till 10 o'clock, they're going to be gone. Parents don't need tickets, but the kids do. So you just got to have a head count there. So there are about 8 tickets left for Trick or Beat. So get those tickets. All right, that having been said, our good friend Sandy Call is here from Bridge Road Bistro, and she comes in this morning bearing gifts. And the food's not prepared this morning. It's in a box. It's your it's your own soup mix. Talk about that.
Yeah. It's our own soup mix. We came out with it about 4 years ago.
Bridge Road Bistro, if I didn't mention that, by the way. Go ahead.
Yeah, and Beach Road Soup Mix, it's right there in your hands there. And
I'll hold it up right here to the microphone.
Right, so everybody can see.
Yeah.
There's hundreds of recipes. But, mainly we serve this at our restaurant every day. Mm-hmm. We sell it at Kroger, all in West Virginia, Drug Emporium, the Tamarack. But you can make potato soup, roasted red pepper soup. You can make...
I'm taking selfies with the box right now.
I love it. But yeah, it's a great soup mix. I have girlfriends out there though that make chicken and dumplings with it. They make it with their roast. It's a great roux.
So I was going to say, it's not a flavored soup per se. It's not like it's just whatever flavor you want it to be.
Absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely.
It's the base.
I got all the spices and the mixes for you. You just throw in your chopped up potatoes, or if you want to make a tomato soup or what have you, but it's a great premix.
What's your favorite soup to make with it? What's your favorite one if you had to pick one or two?
I would say definitely broccoli cheddar cheese.
Okay.
And then the loaded potato.
Okay, that's your favorite. That's the same. That's the same. Well, what do you hear from other people? What are some of the other ones? You mentioned a couple of them.
They love the roasted red pepper bisque and the lobster bisque.
Okay.
It's pretty popular. Right. And it's really, really cheap to buy. You know, you can get it for under $5 and feed a family of 12 to 14, especially if you got a little football team or a baseball team you need to feed.
Yeah. And it's soup weather. Well, it's not right now because it's going to be 80 degrees over the next couple of days. But next week, I was looking at the long-range forecast. I think it's like Wednesday next week. The high is going to be like 45.
Oh, yes.
So this is soup weather. We get Halloween behind us. Everybody starts thinking about Thanksgiving into winter.
It's time.
It's soup weather.
It's time. And speaking of Thanksgiving, we're doing Thanksgiving dinner pickups again this year.
Okay.
So we're releasing that menu this week. You can order a turkey or a ham, all the fixings on the side. We'll have it all prepared for you, and you just pick it up the day before Thanksgiving. We can serve it cold or warm, however way you want it. That will make your life easy.
We'll be on next month to talk about that too. But let me ask you this about the Thanksgiving, though. If somebody wants to order Thanksgiving dinner from you guys, what would be the ballpark deadline for that? When do you need to know by? Because you can't call up 9 o'clock the night before Thanksgiving and say, I want a dinner. So
no, you can't. Yeah.
So give me just, and we won't hold you to this, but a good time frame that would be the deadline for that.
I'm going to push it to the Saturday before Thanksgiving.
Saturday before Thanksgiving. How many dinners have you done in the past, approximately?
Well, we did 100, close to 100 last year.
Okay. And the dinners consist of? Well, you can kind of have it however you want, right?
Well, yes, indeed. You can do.
But if I call you and I say, Sandy, I want the full dinner.
Yeah. Well, you can do small or large. When we talk about small or large, you can do 4 to 6 folks or 8 to 10, 8 to 12. So that's your small and your large orders. You can do a large turkey dinner, ham dinner, mashed potatoes, green beans, cranberry relish. We're going to do a new cornbread pudding this year. It's a sweet cornbread pudding. We got some really nice things coming out. So Chef Joshua should have that out to the masses by Friday.
And again, all this information is available on your social media, your website. You got it all out there for people to see.
BridgeRoadBistro.com. Yes,
all right.
Indeed.
Sandy Call from Bridge Road Bistro is here. All right, so I want to talk about the private rooms that you have there at your place for parties and other get-togethers. Talk about those.
This is a great topic because a lot of folks don't know about our 2 rooms. We have 2 rooms. One is the Walnut Room. It seats up to about 50, but it's very popular with the pharmaceutical companies as well, with the, under 10 number. But we have the Ellis Room as well that seats up to 20. Both of them have AV, that we have drop-down screens.
Audio-visual, so you can do PowerPoints or whatever.
All the things, yes. So you can even do a photo montage if you want to do a baby shower, bridal shower, a reunion, any kind of nuptials. But those are great spaces also for your holiday parties coming up. Okay. You want a neutral place to stay here in central West Virginia. Basically, you're near all the hotels. And Bridge Road Bistro offers 2 great rooms for your either luncheon or dinner parties for the holidays.
Now, I would imagine, kind of like with the dinner, Sandy, that you could go full on. Have you prepare everything, or do you allow people? Because some establishments like that will let people bring in outside food, and some don't. And I understand certainly if they don't. What is your policy on that?
I definitely cater to those rooms. I provide all of the things to the room. Yes, but if they want to bring in a dessert, let's say a birthday cake or a wedding cake or something of that nature, bring that in.
As long as they have enough to share with you and the folks, right?
Of course, and then bring you down a piece the next day.
There's a 3-piece minimum, in order to bring a cake in the building. You should put that sign up. All wedding cakes, all birthday cakes, there must be at least 3 to 4 pieces set aside, for the host. That's what you're asking about that. And again, information about that's available on your website, social media,
media, Facebook.
How busy do you guys get as we head toward the holiday season?
Actually, pretty busy. We'll get to the point where we'll have a lunch, a mid-afternoon, and an evening party, if need to be. We have a lot of professionals that come in. They want a nice luncheon. We do a lot of off-premise caterings as well. We'll come to your firm, your business. We'll cater to your folks for lunch. We do box lunches as well. But we do. So
if somebody wanted to do, like, let's say a lunch and learn in one of those, because that's kind of a popular thing to do now. They just want to have people together, and they want to have, like you said, a box lunch that you can prepare. You can have it right there with audio visual available too if they need to do a PowerPoint or something.
Indeed. Yes, we do it all. We'll come to you, or you can come to us. But it keeps us pretty busy during the holidays. For sure.
I can imagine. Sandy, it's always a pleasure to have you on the show.
Oh my gosh, thanks for having me. Thank you so much.
Anytime, what are you making up there just as far as the regular menu? If I go up there for dinner tonight, I mean, I know you got a full menu, but anything new on the menu up there? Anything that you're excited about right now? What do you got?
Chef Joshua is in transition right now from his to his autumn menu, so he has a lot of good things in store for us. He's going to do a nice smoked mac and cheese. And we're going to
You got that, Ryan?
Yeah.
Smoked mac and cheese.
Yes. And speaking of that, we're doing the mac and cheese contest that's coming up on November the 4th for the Children's Learning benefit.
Is that the one that I'm a judge for?
Yes,
because
indeed.
they reached out to me about being a judge on that.
Yeah, please be a judge because we will knock your socks off with our mac and cheese.
And that's over at
the Capitol
Market. Yeah, somebody reached out to me about saying they said, "Can you come over and be a judge for the mac and cheese contest?" So I've been ushered in, for that.
You're a great guy for that.
Well,
thank you for all the things you do.
I started eating, Sandy, when I was when I was real young, and I just never got out of the habit.
I get it. Well, we're going to help continue that tradition for you. Come up and let me serve you supper, okay?
Yeah. I actually got a text a minute ago from a good friend of mine who's listening in another part of the state right now. The miracle of radio. We're on apps now.
I love it.
And I'm going to give a big shout out to my buddy Tommy, who is listening down in southern West Virginia right now, who's probably the best non-trained cook I've ever met in my entire life. Yeah.
Tommy, come up. Let's do some cooking at the bistro, buddy.
Does a lot of smoking, that kind of stuff. I say does a lot of smoking. That didn't sound right, did it?
It's
smoking foods he does. He smokes foods is what Tommy does. All right.
It's okay, Tommy. You come up to the Bridge Road Bistro and we'll show you how to smoke some things in our smoker as well.
All right. Sandy, call for the Bridge Road Bistro website and social media. Go.
Thank you. We've got Facebook, TikTok, Instagram.
TikTok.
We're on Google.
You guys are doing TikTok?
Oh, yes. We love TikTok.
Okay.
Yes.
I got to get me one of them TikToks.
You need to get on TikTok.
All right, Sandy. We'll talk again soon. We'll definitely have you on before Thanksgiving. Sandy called again for the Bridge Road Bistro. The Dave Allen Show brought to you by Meeks Realty Group, where trust and efficiency are the cornerstones of their service. Meeks offers years of experience in both residential and commercial real estate with results that will exceed your expectations. At Meeks, it's about more than the agreement. Your real estate transaction is part of your dreams and goals. And when you go with Meeks, you're not just getting real estate expertise, you're getting a partner that you can rely on for a lifetime of successful investments. Call 304-401-1101 or visit Meeks.us. Center Finance Chair Eric Tarr is coming up next from the Parmar Store studio. It's the Dave Allen Show, brought to you by the Thornhill Auto Group on the Voice of Charleston, WCHS.
Brought to you by the Eric J. Tarr Family Businesses. Eric J. Tarr Family Businesses have been creating jobs in West Virginia since 1997.
Are you worried about retirement? Steig Wealth Enhancement Group is the premier retirement planning service in West Virginia. With years of experience and a commitment to personalized service, they'll work with you to create a customized retirement plan that addresses your unique needs and goals, whether you're just starting to plan or nearing retirement age. Steig Wealth Enhancement Group makes the process easy and stress-free. Visit steigweg.com for more information.
Securities and advisory service offered through LPL Financial, a registered investment advisor. Member FINRA SIPC.
Are you ready to make every adventure awesome? Look no further than the new Thornhill Toyota. Introducing the 2023 Toyota Camry, Corolla, and RAV4. The ultimate companions for your journey. Whether it's the sleek Camry or the adventurous RAV4, we've got the perfect ride for you. And don't forget our unbeatable selection. We've got a ride for every style and budget. At the new Thornhill Toyota, we're not just selling cars, we're creating unforgettable adventures. So why wait? Visit us today and let's make every adventure awesome together. Click or come by at ThornhillToyotaWV.com or on the Thornhill Motor Mile, US 119 Chapmanville. See Thornhill for full details.
At Garib Dental Group, we love to see your smile. Take proactive steps towards optimal oral health with our comprehensive preventive care services. Our team of experienced doctors at 6 convenient locations is passionate about keeping your smile healthy and bright. From regular checkups and cleanings to advanced treatment, we are here to prevent dental issues before they start. Visit GaribDentalGroup.com to learn more and experience personalized care tailored to your needs. Garib Dental Group, where your smile receives the care it deserves.
9:21. Biggly Piggly Wiggly hotline 304-345-5858. Fruth Pharmacy text 304-935-5008. The International Log Home Show and Timber Frame Show come to the Coliseum Convention Center this Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Hours noon till 7 on Friday, 10 to 6 Saturday, 10 till 5 on Sunday. Admission $10 for adults, $8 for seniors, $6 for students. Kids under 14 are admitted free. And we've been giving away tickets, the first couple of days of the week. Guess what? Let's give away another couple of pairs. If you're caller 3 right now at 304-345-5858, 304-345-5858. Caller 3, Ryan is standing by, and I'll hook you up with a couple of passes to the International Log Home and Timber Frame Show at the Coliseum Convention Center Friday, Saturday, or Sunday. You can go any day that you want to go, and more information is available. InternationalLogHomeShows.com. Caller 3 right now, 304-345-5858. That is the number to call. Ryan will take care of you and send you to the Log Home Show this weekend at the Coliseum and Convention Center. Looking for caller 3 right now. Senator Eric Tarr, Finance Chair Eric Tarr, good morning. Thank you for being on the show.
Well, good morning. Thanks for having me on, Dave.
This has been a wild day in the world of radio. Just had Sandy Call on for Bridge Road Bistro. Up in our studio of our new station, newest station, the Mountain 98.7, Steve Animal was getting massages on the air this morning.
Oh, wow. You're in the wrong station.
The folks from Utopia. I was up there, too. All I got to do was take pictures. And it's you never know what you're going to encounter when you come into 1111. And I have a giant box, courtesy of Sandy Call, of bistro soup mix over here. She didn't mix it up for us. You got to make your own. But if you'd like to take some soup mix, it's good stuff. We'll hook you up.
It's definitely good stuff. I saw her back in the green room waiting to come in. I thought maybe we had some breakfast there. She I brought soup. I said, just as good.
Just as good. It's good stuff. And after you, I've got the State Democratic Party Chair, Mike Pushkin, coming in.
Well, say hi to Mike for me.
Well, why don't you say hi to him when he comes?
I haven't seen him yet. I'll say hi.
He'll roll in here about 2 minutes before airtime. I want you two to just say hello to each other.
I'm happy to do that. We'll be right here on the Dave Allen Show.
I know that Mike is listening right now, so Mike, want to at least just at least a little high five. Or in southern West Virginia, we always say, "How's your mom and them?"
That's right.
How's your mom and them? That's what you
West
say.
Virginia boys, so we'll be okay.
All right. So you came out with a press release on Monday. It was entitled, "When Will Enough Be Enough for the People of West Virginia?" And in it, you reference, among other things, the recent indictment of one official over the mishandling of COVID funds. So let's start there. What led to the press release, and what was in it for people that didn't see it?
Well, first of all, there's an indictment of Tim Priddy that had to do with the emergency management response, and he was over some contracts that had to do with COVID testing. And the contracts that were awarded were paid for in much greater than what testing was provided. And so it's a way to funnel money or launder money into potentially his own pocket. So that's what the indictment was about. And it's, again, just in one of these situations where the governor has been absent from being present. There's been lawsuits about the governor not living in the mansion or being present around there, being a legislator over the past 5 years up here at the Capitol, and seeing how little the governor's actually present through this whole process, and seeing the executive agencies just fall apart. It's disheartening, because it's a big deal to be governor of West Virginia. You would think that would be something that is your absolute number one priority. Nothing else matters while you're sitting in that office. That's the way it should be. The people of West Virginia deserve that. And that's not been the case. What's happened is he's stuck buddies into these positions and left them with no accountability, and let agency after agency fall into the ground to make national news on how terrible they are. I mean, what's happened with state police? What happened to that now? We got Jack Chambers in there to fix it. And what happens is, and this is what's been happening, it all falls apart, and then they go pick somebody. Jim Justice then goes pick somebody that actually has the qualifications and the integrity to go run the organization.
Someone like a Jack Chambers.
Like a Jack Chambers. Yeah. And with DHHR, the legislature pushed to get rid of Bill Crouch, and he wouldn't do it until he absolutely had no choice. And so the legislature then went so far, all right, what we're going to do? We're just going to go in and break up DHHR and make it so where you can go in and have somebody who's accountable to a specific expertise within DHHR. And then the governor vetoes that bill. Instead goes and wastes $1 million to bring a Nothing Burger consulting agency in to go over and say, well, this is what it should be, and it pretty much should be the same. So the legislature saw that for what it was, a waste of $1 million in lip service. And the next time we ran the same legislation, we just ran it along in fast enough so that if he vetoed it this time, we could override it. And that's happened in agency after agency after agency. And so what I said and I titled that, When Will Enough Be Enough, is because the governor is understandably very popular within West Virginia because West Virginia is doing fantastic. As a state, as a whole, our economic performance, our growth, the quality of life is improving in West Virginia beyond what it's always been a great quality of life here, but it's improving even more now. And so as people feel that and experience that, it's came from the leadership of a great deal of that has came from the leadership of the Republicans since we've stepped in 2015. And a lot of legislation's attracted that kind of growth. And so that gets awarded to the governor for that success. But the reality is that the legislature sat here and laid all these bills down and said, Governor, which ones of these do you want to be a governor's bill? He's not initiated this stuff on his own. He's taken the credit for it. And for a lot of the people who are will show up to vote, they don't really, politics isn't their life. And I completely understand that. Their blood pressure is probably lower for politics not being their life. They probably
are better off than we are, Eric, to be honest with you.
But they don't get to see the inside of things. And so what they see is the end result. And the guy at the head of it, understandably, gets to take credit for that result. But it's only deserved if you're actually present. And so the state's doing well in spite of the governor, not because of the governor. And his popularity doesn't show that. And so that's hence the title of that press release is When Will Enough Be Enough?
And, the polls, Senator, we're talking with Senator Eric Tarr. By the way, we do have a winner of the tickets for the Log and Home Show. It's Keith Southall. So congratulations to Keith, caller 3, and he's on his way to the Log Home Show this weekend at the Coliseum and Convention Center. Those are will call tickets, as we say in the business, Keith. So we'll get your name and number over to the Coliseum Convention Center, get you on the list for those tickets. Senator, with that being said, what you said about the popularity, the polls are showing Governor Justice, who wants to be Senator Justice, is way ahead. He has what some have called an insurmountable lead over Congressman Alex Mooney. Just last week, he got the endorsement of former President Donald Trump. Jim Justice's approval ratings of governor still some of the highest in the nation. Is it what you said, that people are not following this stuff? That's kind of your assertion. Don't want to put words in your mouth, that they're just not following it closely, that you're saying it's not the governor that's responsible for this, it's the legislature. And what's your comment on Donald Trump endorsing Jim Justice for Senate?
So I'll start with the endorsement piece.
Yep. Okay.
And it's no secret I'm a huge Trump fan. The country has done better, or was doing better than I'd ever seen it do in my time as an adult, paying attention to how the country does, as it was under Donald Trump. And even on my Senate floor desk, I've got a little figurine that has you push a button and it has Donald Trump speaking that sits on my Senate floor desk. So if you're down there on the Senate floor, you can hit that and hear a lot of Trump's one-liners. But one of the things that is apparent to anybody who's watched the process is that these endorsements, such as the one that Jim Justice got, Donald Trump didn't do that for Jim Justice. Donald Trump did that for Donald Trump. And so if you look at the politics about what's getting ready to happen within the Senate race, Joe Manchin's not announced whether or not he's going to run for U.S. Senate again or whether he'll be in the presidential race. I think that it was anticipated and leaked out that Joe was going to make some sort of announcement this week in Charleston, right? Mm-hmm. So ahead of that, and very soon as that was leaked, or very close to the time that was leaked, then you saw Donald Trump come in and do this endorsement. So to me, that's Donald Trump trying to influence what Joe Manchin's going to do, because I think that, frankly, I think Donald Trump would rather have Joe Manchin in the presidential race than in the Senate race here, because I think that, one, Joe's not going to win in the state of West Virginia in the U.S. Senate race, and he's not going to win in the presidential race, but as an independent. But what he can do is he significantly influence who ends up in the president's seat by the votes that he would take. And that's going to have leverage in there to where he could go in, and I'm sure Joe would end up with some sort of cabinet position with the leverage on those votes. So what I think this happened with this is that I think that Donald Trump came in and endorsed Jim Justice to influence whatever that announcement may be, or even if it will happen. In thinking that if Joe steps in the race, he may think he can beat Alex, but not think he can beat Jim. Mm-hmm. Now, the reality is, I think that I think any given R against Joe Manchin wins the race.
Yeah,
that's where we are.
I agree.
But I think it's more of a more challenging probably to do that if it's Alex in DC's opinion and in the national opinion of it. I don't think so much here because I think it's a primary race. And you're going to, in a primary race, you got more Republicans who are conservative Republicans showing up to vote for who that's going to be. And whoever wins that's going to win the Senate race. And so if you're coming more conservative, you're an Alex Mooney vote, even though the popularity is so high with the governor.
Talking to Senate Financier Eric Tarr, the Dave Allen Show, brought to you in part by Hudson's Pizza. This month at your favorite Hudson's, get a large 18-inch pepperoni pizza and any pizzeria, only $21.99. Find your local Hudson's for dine-in delivery or pickup at Hudson'sPizza.com. Senator Tarr, I had someone within state government who is not an elected official, but is a pretty high-ranking person at the Capitol, tell me the other day that regardless of who the next governor of West Virginia is, be it Attorney General Patrick Morrisey, Secretary of State Mac Warner, auto magnate Chris Miller, Delegate Mark Capito, or even Steve Williams, that they would just be happy to have a more conventional governor come 2025 when the new governor of West Virginia would take office. Would you agree with that statement?
Conventional. I'd have to hear their definition of conventional.
Indeed.
But I tell you what I'd rather see is I would like to see somebody who's present. I would like to see somebody who...
And I think that's probably what they meant by that.
Well, and somebody who puts West Virginia first. It is, and by being present, you're demonstrating you're willing to put West Virginia first. Ahead of your businesses or social or your family life and those things, because it's a sacrifice that you make. It really is when you step into these offices. That's that when you make this kind of commitment to the people who vote for you, that office, while you're there, you do that first. And so we haven't had that out of this governor, and you see all the things that's happening around in his businesses, and when you see him having to move a helicopter from here to there to everywhere like somebody's moving their pickup truck to try to keep it from getting repossessed. And then on top of that, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if you wouldn't see the Greenbrier being next, and he can't move the Greenbrier. So and that'll be devastating to the state of West Virginia. So I would like to see somebody who's going to come in and not have all that distraction and be an operator. So somebody who comes into that governor's seat, who is present with the legislature, who's there to converse with on a regular basis, somebody who's actually got their hands into what's happening in operations, and somebody who goes in and puts the expertise at the head of the agencies first instead of buddies at the head of the agencies first.
You mentioned your support for former President Donald Trump. We had a text about that, and I know you don't care to answer this, so I'm going to ask you. It says, Tarr supports Trump. Does he think our vets are suckers and losers and does not want to be around disabled vets like Donald Trump?
I think that any veteran that's ever met me, been close to me, knows the answer to that question. Mm-hmm. I'm an incredibly strong supporter of our veterans. And one of my really good friends, and it's actually I got an iWatch. I wear an iWatch, and your audience can't see this, but I'm going to show it to you, Dave. So when I turn this over, what's on this?
Okay. Enter passcode.
Try it again.
All right. It's a picture of you and Donald Trump.
No, that's not Donald Trump.
I only saw it went off too quick. I didn't get to see it.
That's Woody Williams.
Okay, I couldn't see it.
So sorry about that. It happens fast. But I was spinning around there. So one of my really good friends.
Okay, I see it now. Yeah, I just saw the red tie and assumed it was Trump.
For a long time, it was Woody Williams. And so Woody and I have had a really good relationship over the years prior to his passing. Had conversations really about the direction the country was headed for long. And one of my really, really strong mentors on my political positions over the years has been Woody Williams. So it's and to understand the sacrifice that those guys make and talking about putting service in front of anything else, that's the ultimate, is what our
But I think what the texter was referring to is the comments that Donald Trump has made that have been very disrespectful in a lot of people's eyes toward the veterans.
So it comes back to the results our country had. For Donald Trump was the first person to go up. He said a lot of stupid things. He's done a lot of stupid things. Hands down, I mean, nobody's going to argue that. Mm-hmm. But it's also very difficult to argue the situation our country was moving ahead. America was becoming the powerhouse in the world again. And now, without Trump, we are the apologetic laughter or laughing stock, maybe, of the world. The fact that what's going on with Israel right now, we just did a resolution supporting Israel with the Senate here the other day, and I think every senator signed off on that resolution to support that. But when we send our military over into the sea, and China has absolutely no qualms about sending their destroyers right up there after ours, it shows that but they're not afraid anymore, and they should be. I mean, America is an incredible powerhouse. And that powerhouse existed not just in name only, it existed in effect under Donald Trump. And the current leadership of this country with Joe Biden or whoever's pulling his strings has made life more dangerous for every citizen of West Virginia. And we need that kind of strength back. So irrespective of what he said, that's where we were. And we're not there now. So we need somebody back in there who can do it again. He's proven he can do it. And I said on Hoppy's show one time, I said, they can do all this Banana Republic stuff with him all they want. He can end up in a prison cell, and I'll vote for him in a prison cell. He can pardon himself and get back to business.
Senator Finance Chair Eric Tarr, before we let you go, I want to bring it back to West Virginia for a moment. We had a story that was posted on the website and that Chris and the team talked about this morning, and it has to do with volunteer fire departments in West Virginia. They've suffered, a lot. And I wasn't at the Putnam County Commission meeting last night, but I did hear some of the audio that we played back in the morning news this morning that one of the fire officials over there was praising the legislature, specifically you, but also the legislature, for some work you were able to do to help out the fire departments. Explain what that gentleman was talking about.
Yeah, so across every industry, everybody has seen decrease in workforce and the availability of expertise to be in that workforce. And within our volunteer fire departments and even our paid fire departments and our first responders across the board, whether it be EMS or whether it be police force, they're seeing fewer and fewer people come into those professions, and it's making it more difficult to deliver the services that keep our families safe. And it became mission, I'll use Chief Smoot's words, it became mission critical in Putnam County because they were going to have to reduce their hours to 12 hours a day. So if you lived in Putnam County and were serviced by Tays Valley Fire Department, you were going to have fire coverage 12 hours a day. So if your house started to catch fire after sometime between then there, you might be calling St. Albans, you might be calling over from Hurricane or Cabell County or who knows, to try to hopefully they can get to somebody that's available to come to Putnam County. And that's going on across the state. So when as it was getting to that, Chief Smoot came to my office and he said, here's where we are. What can we do to help get this done? So we had been having that discussion as a legislature over this past session. The bill that would have significantly improved that situation failed at the very last minute of the legislative session. And so we worked really, really hard to get it on the call, a bill that put $12 million into our fire departments. And it would $6 million of that is recurring year after year. And had it not been for the governor, it would have been $12 million year after year going into our volunteer fire departments. So I'm really grateful to the way they showed their appreciation. I was happy to lead in that effort, but I tell you what, it was a huge team effort amongst the Senate and our colleagues in the House.
Senator Finance Chair Eric Tarr, it's always a pleasure to have you on the show.
Oh, yeah, it's always a pleasure to be here, Dave.
Grab some soup mix on your way out. We got plenty.
If you're going to twist my arm that hard, I'll do it.
It's good stuff. All right, hang out with me 1 second. The Dave Allen Show brought to you in part by Bridge Valley. Are you interested in improving your company's IT workforce? Well, did you know that Bridge Valley offers custom-tailored IT training to bridge those skill gaps? With Bridge Valley, you can train for little or no cost with a 50-50 salary match. Bridge Valley can also supply skilled graduates and apprenticeships for your company. Visit bridgevalley.edu/apprenticeships for more information. And the president of Bridge Valley, Dr. Casey Sachs, is going to be my special co-host on the show coming up on Friday. We'll take a break. When we come back, we're going to switch gears, really, because I've got the State Democratic Party chair and Delegate Mike Pushkin standing by next. From the Parmar Store studio, it's the Dave Allen Show, brought to you by Thornhill Auto Group and the Voice of Charleston, WCHS.
Brought to you by the Eric J. Tarr Family Businesses. Eric J. Tarr Family Businesses are small businesses with big impact, including Generations Physical Therapy and Snap Fitness.
Elevators. You take them for granted until they let you down. If you're working to maintain a stellar reputation, then let me introduce you to DC Elevator. We want to work with you to make sure your people get where they are going. What could be better than a new company coming to the area and already having 45 years of experience? DC Elevator is bringing a new culture of elevator maintenance, repairs, modernization, and installation to West Virginia. Don't leave your people hanging. For a free consultation, call DC Elevator at 304-345-7222.
Are you ready to make every adventure awesome? Look no further than the new Thornhill Toyota. Introducing the 2023 Toyota Camry, Corolla, and RAV4. The ultimate companions for your journey. Whether it's the sleek Camry or the adventurous RAV4, we've got the perfect ride for you. And don't forget our unbeatable selection. We've got a ride for every style and budget. At the new Thornhill Toyota, we're not just selling cars, we're creating unforgettable adventures. So why wait? Visit us today and let's make every adventure awesome together. Click or come by at ThornhillToyotaWV.com or on the Thornhill Motor Mile, US 119 Chapmanville. See Thornhill for full details.
You will want to get up early for this. The Log Home Show, October 27th through the 29th at the Charleston Convention Center. Bring your plans, ideas, and thoughts for your dream home. Explore rustic decor, pergolas, sunrooms, pavilions, millworks, and so much more. Enter to win fabulous door prizes such as a 3-night stay at Hemlock Haven Cabins. It all happens at the Charleston Convention Center, October 27th through the 29th. Admission at the door. For more information, visit internationalloghomeshows.com.
It's the way Charleston says good morning. First Watch on Summer Street is this week's 50-50 Friday. First Watch takes the freshest ingredients, spices, and herbs, creates a unique menu, and serves it with a smile. Try their delicious seasonal offerings like the $1 Million Bacon, cinnamon spice churros, or pumpkin pancake breakfast. First Watch on Summer Street. Be joyful and fill up on happiness. Friday at 9 a.m. Go to WCHSnetwork.com and click the 50-50 Friday button to get 50% off gift certificates for First Watch, courtesy of the WCHS family of networks.
18 minutes away from 10. The Dave Allen Show brought to you, powered by QC Kinetics of Huntington and Cross Lanes. Imagine living your life this fall with no more pain in your knees, your hips, your shoulders, or your back. QC Kinetics can make it happen without steroid surgery, pain pills, or downtime. Call QC Kinetics of Huntington and Cross Lanes for a complimentary consultation. 304-202-5566. 304-202-5566 for QC Kinetics of Huntington and Cross Lanes. Text says, Dave, congratulations on a new title for the program. We enjoy listening to your programming every morning. Appreciate all you do for our state to keep us up to date and important issues. Blessings, according to a texter. Text says, Dave, Eric Tarr blames the Democrats for the ineptitude of the majority and supermajority Republicans' inability to agree on who they want to lead them, let alone lead the state and nation. He's a Trump apologist and in denial that Trump is a criminal, deflecting all his shortcomings, and Biden, who is actually doing his job, says a texter. Texter says, Eric Tarr, this is Eric Tarr speaking, Trump has done a lot of stupid things, so I and you should all follow him, so we're not the laughingstock of the world. Hate to break it to you, Eric, but Trump made us the laughingstock in 2016. Text says, local Republican policies to fund the local fire department. The local fire department runs to state Republicans for funding. Is that the correct assessment? Mike Pushkin, State Democratic Party chair, is here right now. How are you, man?
I'm doing good. Good morning. Great to see you.
Great to see you and Eric Tarr.
I ran into Senator Tarr on the way out
and shook hands. I got a picture.
You got a picture to prove it.
I'll post that a little bit later on social media.
You know, Senator Tarr doesn't have to. He's not on the ballot this year. He's in the middle of his term, but I am, and that picture could definitely affect my chances in the primary.
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding.
I know.
It's just a picture.
I know. It's just a picture.
It's just a picture.
It's just a picture.
Yeah.
All right. So, how are the Jets doing?
You know what? Unbelievably well. They had probably one of the toughest schedules to start the season. I mean, they've played the Kansas City Chiefs. They beat the Philadelphia Eagles, who were one of the best teams in the league.
Yeah.
We beat the Eagles.
Anybody that beats the Eagles is a friend of mine.
And I think we should have beaten the Kansas City Chiefs. They had a little help from the refs, as the Chiefs usually do. So I refer to them as the Kansas City Cheats.
And the Taylor Swift, thing going on.
Yeah, you can't beat Taylor Swift. So, but we're 3-3 after running the gauntlet. And 4 plays into the season, we lost our new Hall of Fame quarterback, Aaron Rodgers. But we're doing unbelievably well. I think we have a good chance.
That defense is really good.
We're going to have a fun season.
I think so. All right. You want to talk about something that's
other than football?
Other than the football that's coming, other than football, soup, and Eric Tarr. You want to talk about something else. So what do you got for us?
I can talk about soup. I didn't realize that was one of the options. This week, speaking of soup, we might be serving soup. I haven't checked the menu, but this weekend, Saturday evening, over at the Charleston Convention Center. I always forget what it's called.
The Charleston Coliseum and Convention Center.
Charleston Coliseum and Convention Center, over in the Convention Center side. The West Virginia Democratic Party we are holding our annual Roosevelt Kennedy Dinner, which is a annual event that we have every year. to bring Democrats from all over the state together and have entertainment, listen to some great speakers, and have a good meal. This year, our keynote speaker, who I actually just got off the phone with, is her name's Anderson Clayton. She's been on national TV. She's had a lot of national press written about her. She is the new chair of the North Carolina Democratic Party. She's 25 years old. She's the youngest state chair in the country, if ever. I don't know if any. She's
a lot younger than you are.
She's a lot younger than you are too. And she, she's just full of energy. She has a real passion for what she's doing, and her message is something I think is very pertinent to West Virginians, and that is to reach rural America. She's from near the where she lives in North Carolina. It's right near the North Carolina-Virginia border. She's in a very rural part of North Carolina, and her message is how we need to do a better job of reaching rural voters. And I think that's a message that really resonates in West Virginia.
And by that, she means the state Democratic Party, or the Democratic Party in general needs to do a better job of reaching rural. I would agree with that.
Voters.
I would agree with that.
Yeah, we need to. And so she's a great messenger for this, and she's really, very energetic, and she's a great speaker, and it's going to be a good time. We also have musical entertainment. As you know, I love music. I'm a musician, and we have the music. The house band for the evening, of course, is Charleston's own Carpenter Ants, who've been around for.
They're great.
Everybody loves the Carpenter Ants. They're very good at what they do. They're going to be joined by West Virginia Music Hall of Famer John Ellison, who's backed by popular demand. He's been at our event before. John Ellison is he's from McDowell County originally, and he's a great performer. He defies all time and space, because this guy's he's 80 years old, and he still rocks out like a young kid. And but his claim to fame, among other things, is he wrote the song "Some Kind of Wonderful." Yeah. Of course, that was made popular by
Grand Funk
Railroad.
Grand Funk did a version of it, as of about 1,000 other people.
It's been covered by a lot of
Grand
people.
Funk's is probably the standard version, but there's been a lot of R&B singers, the country singers have done it. It's fantastic. You ever done that song in your sets?
Actually, last year I got to play it with John Ellison.
Well, now that's a big deal right there.
Yeah. So John Ellison will be there, and also we have a West Virginia singer-songwriter Andrew Adkins will also be joining us.
I've actually seen Andrew Adkins perform too. He's very
great
good
guy, great songwriter, and it's going to be an entertaining, fun, and evening. And we also have some other speakers from elected officials and other party leaders from around the state who will be joining us. And I just want to get the word out there that we're having this dinner, and if you would like to attend. I'm not talking, Dave, you're welcome too, but I'm talking to your listeners as well. If you would like to attend, the tickets are going fast. I'm proud to announce that we're almost at capacity here.
Really?
Yeah, we're running short on tickets. If you want a ticket, I would suggest going to our website today, and that's wvdemocrats.com and then /RK. If that's the easiest way to get to the tickets, it's /RK, and that's how you can get a ticket for the event, and we'd love to see you there.
So Mike, I'm kind of interested in what the program is going to look like, because, and this is no fault of yours or any one person, as you said, the Democratic Party as a whole, not in West Virginia but nationwide, has not done a great job of messaging. Sometimes you've even admitted that on the show. So, I mean, anytime you have an event like this, it's kind of a celebratory thing. You get up and you say, well, this is what we did and this is what we're going to do, whatever. It's not been a good couple of years for the Democratic Party, long before you took over. I mean, going back 10 years or more in West Virginia. So you highlight the positives. I mean, there haven't been a whole heck of a lot as far as getting people in office, but what do you say?
I think we highlight the need for us to come together, stay united, get great candidates on the ballot, and give the voters options up and down the ballot of people who are reasonable, that we could put in public office for the right reasons, because they want to serve the public and because they're able to actually get the job of governing done. I mean, just if you look at the national news right now, the Republicans are making it clear that they don't know how to govern. We do not have a speaker. Can you ever remember in our lifetime we don't have a speaker?
It's a crap show. What's going on in D.C. is a crap show right now, and I'm stating that
and
as a Republican.
I don't see them coming to an agreement anytime soon, because their party has been, and the Republican Party has been has been taken over by a very, very extreme element that answers to one person who's in court right now. And if he doesn't, if their candidate for speaker, if their nominee for speaker doesn't deny the election results of 2020, they're not going to get him or a good part of his people, which we could call what I think McCarthy called the crazy eight. Mm-hmm. And that's enough. They have such a slim margin that's enough to hold the Congress and the entire nation hostage right now. And we have so many things going on all over the world, whether it's Ukraine or what's going on in the Middle East. And we need to have a strong, united front here. And we don't, because the Republicans in Congress can't get their act together. So, yeah, we have a lot to talk about on Saturday night. We're the party that actually, and even though it's been tough for us here in West Virginia as of late, well, we think we can do a better job. In fact, we know we can do a better job, because all you need to look at is what's going on in Congress. And yeah, you know what? We could do a better job.
The Dave Allen Show is brought to you in part by your local Brightway agents, John and Sherry Mays of Brightway, the Mays Agency of Tays Valley. Homeowners insurance, can be complicated. Get the coverage you need locally with John and Sherry Mays of Brightway, the Mays Agency, 304-814-2509 or brightwaymays.com. We're back after this from the Parmar Store studio. It's the Dave Allen Show, brought to you by the Thornhill Auto Group and the Voice of Charleston, WCHS.
Are you a physical therapy assistant and looking for an opportunity in orthopedics, wellness, and athletic care? If so, Generations Physical Therapy is offering flexible work hours and an upbeat atmosphere.
If I would have kept making only the minimum payments on my credit cards, my debt would have taken me 47 years to pay off.
These are real National Debt Relief customers.
I knew I wasn't going to be able to get out of debt by myself.
Credit card, medical, or personal loan debt? National Debt Relief negotiates with your creditors to reduce what you owe.
National Debt Relief got me out of debt.
You could be debt-free in as little as 24 to 48 months. Visit nationaldebtrelief.com to learn more and get started. nationaldebtrelief.com.
Symptom checker on identifyepi.com and talk to your doctor about your symptoms. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
Are you ready to make every adventure awesome? Look no further than the new Thornhill Toyota. Introducing the 2023 Toyota Camry, Corolla, and RAV4. The ultimate companions for your journey. Whether it's the sleek Camry or the adventurous RAV4, we've got the perfect ride for you. And don't forget our unbeatable selection. We've got a ride for every style and budget. At the new Thornhill Toyota, we're not just selling cars, we're creating unforgettable adventures. So why wait? Visit us today and let's make every adventure.
From local town councils to Capitol Hill, agents who are realtors are standing up for what's right. We're here protecting property rights. Here advocating for the issues that affect our neighborhoods. Here championing fair and equitable housing for all. Because we are realtors, bound by a code of ethics, driven to serve our communities. We're here for it all. Here for you. Realtors are members of the National Association of Realtors. That's who we are.
Hello, this is Lieutenant David Payne with the Charleston Police Department. Halloween is a time of fun and excitement for children, but there are also risks associated with this holiday. So remember when trick-or-treating to stay in groups or with an adult, carry a flashlight or wear reflective clothing, look both ways when crossing the street, and never enter the house of a stranger. We will be out this holiday season looking for impaired and distracted drivers, so put your cell phones down and never drink and drive. Remember, if you see something, say something, because we're all in this together.
Optima Tax Relief. Testimonial from an actual client. Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
The Dave Allen Show brought to you in part by Pinnacle Consultants. We spend 90% of our time indoors, and our health risk for air pollution can be greater indoors than out. Pinnacle Consultants is the only accredited commercial lab in West Virginia for asbestos and mold. Visit pinnaclecorp.net, because what you don't know can hurt you. State Democratic Party Chair and Delegate Mike Pushkin is here. Mike, you and I like to kid and joke a lot, but last time you were on the show, we talked about the crisis in Israel. It's a couple days removed now. It's obviously not getting any better over there. The President Joe Biden, made an appearance, made a visit to Israel. Mm-hmm. Certainly a dangerous situation last week. Your thoughts on the president's visit to Israel last week?
I think that President Biden is doing a very good job as our head of state, as our commander-in-chief right now. When he went over there and spoke to the situation, I think he's been very strong. Of course, that the United States has always stood with our greatest ally in the region, and that's Israel. But also stress the need for humanitarian aid and to address the ongoing humanitarian crisis as well. And they're also currently, negotiating for the release of hostages, not just our American hostages, but Israeli hostages as well.
What do you make of around the country? And I've talked about it a little, Mike, on some of the college campuses, particularly Harvard and others, and some of the larger cities, that there have been protesting what has happened over there and taking the side of, believe it or not, Hamas. Well, what do you make of that? Because it's primarily a liberal, progressive folks that are doing this, and people point out and say, I saw one sign that said, like, queers for Hamas, and that lifestyle would not be tolerated in that part of the world by Hamas. What do you make of all that? Well, just confusion, or
first of all, I mean, I'm pretty much a free speech absolutist. Yeah. Okay, I believe in our Constitution. I believe in our Bill of Rights. And I think people have a right to state their opinion as long as they're not harming anybody else. I think people have the right to be wrong. And I mean, you just had Senator Eric Tarr. I believe he's wrong all the time, but that's his right.
It didn't last. The handshake didn't last long, but go ahead.
But no, I think a lot of people don't completely. It's a very, very complicated situation that a lot of people don't understand all the nuances of it. But I don't think anybody could. I don't see how anybody in their right mind could take the side of a terrorist organization, especially with what happened on Saturday, October 7th. It was a horrible sneak attack by a terrorist organization, and they put a lot of people's lives in jeopardy with that action. Israel pulled out of Gaza, almost 20 years ago, right? And not long after that, Hamas, a terrorist organization, put itself in power and that's who, for lack of better terms, because they don't really govern, but that's who controls that area. And you cannot live next door to a terrorist organization whose stated goal is to kill you.
Text says, ask Pushkin if he believes Israel should eliminate Hamas.
Hamas is a terrorist organization. They should be eliminated, just like ISIS was eliminated. Yes.
Yeah. I'll throw this out there anytime that people want to know what exactly you're dealing with over there. And I read this report a couple of days ago. There was a grandmother that was on her phone when the attacks happened, and she was trying to communicate with her family elsewhere and tell them what was going on. This one guy, it wasn't a group, it was one guy, came into her home. Mike took her phone, murdered her, not just shot her, I mean murdered her, mutilated her, and filmed the entire thing on Facebook. And put it out. Now, obviously, it's been taken down since then. This is what you're dealing with these people.
Yeah, it's sick. They're a terrorist organization. They can't be described as anything other than that. That's what they're dealing with over there. And I think a lot of people can't, because of how we live over here, they can't really get a real perspective of that. It's hard for them to understand what is going on over there on a day-to-day basis. And of course, you know what? My heart goes out. I don't want to see anybody. I don't want to see any innocent people harmed. I hope that that's kept to a complete minimum. But it's they're in a no-win situation over there right now. I just pray for everybody involved.
Dave Allen Show brought to you part by General Hardware and Lumber of Winfield. Give me 10 seconds on where people can get tickets for your dinner.
Oh, thanks. It's at wvdemocrats.com/RK. And get the tickets today because we're running out quick. We have
Charleston 104.5 Cross Lanes, a WVRC media station. We're proud to live here, too.